Until recently, Nigeria was one of the most profitable routes for top international airlines, and Nigerians continue to lose potential earnings from non-service routes. How can indigenous airlines seize the moment, seeing all these challenges that you mentioned now?
Yeah, it's the most profitable route because Nigerians like to travel. At the same time, Nigerians like foreign airlines. We like everything that's foreign. It's just like everything we do. If you make a shoe in Aba and you say made in Ghana, Nigerians will rush it. Or make a shoe in Aba, say it's made in Italy, they will prefer to buy it. I think the economic situation is making us to be a bit sensible now. I see people who feel it's status symbol to fly foreign airlines now are coming to fly with us. And one thing they must be very clear that when you fly local airlines, you're creating jobs. You're saving a foreign exchange you need to have taken out, because one of the things that weakened the Naira is the amount of money that the foreign airlines accumulated in the country, and they have to take it out. And they took it out at whatever cost. They don't care. They just feel they want to take their money and they take the bath. Whereas when the presidency was introduced, we know the amount of the rush that went from the foreign airlines. They took their money out at whatever exchange rate, and that's where we are with the Naira. But if Nigerians have been prudent and we understand that internal trade is one of the bane of the economy of a nation, if we trade among each other and conserve our foreign exchange, it will be good for us. And I think we as the Nigerian carriers should seize the opportunity to improve the quality of our services, to make sure that our people enjoy their flights. But the only thing that I'd like to say, Nigerians can more or less tolerate foreigners, even if they don't give them as good a service as Nigeria. But if you, Nigeria, make one mistake, they are not going to spare you. They are going to, take you to the cleaners and do a lot of things.
Before we talk about service, the homegrown airlines have been asking for a bigger slice of the international pie. They complain about the exploitation of the bilateral air service agreement by ministry officials to benefit foreign airlines. How are these being addressed? Do you know?
When we were to attend the BASA agreement with the UK, I remember one of them I attended, and even though it's between the government of Nigeria and UK government, we were invited by the Nigerian government to follow them. We got there, and the UK officials would not start the meeting because they were still waiting for British Airways and Beijing to attend the meeting. And those guys, I think for one reason they couldn't come, they postponed the meeting till the following day. In Nigeria, just recently they went to Singapore, in India. They only told us, gave us about 2 days notice, and none of us could go because of visa problem. The officials went and had their meeting. They didn't bother about the local airlines. What do we need? They don't bother. The ministry officials, their attitude to growing the local airlines needs to be reviewed. They need to actually think about it, that they're doing a lot of harm to not only the local airlines, but to the Nigerian aviation industry, because we have pilots, we have we have cabin crew, we have engineers, we have a lot of things. So when they rush to go and sign bilateral air services and they don't go along with Nigerian carriers, who will tell them what they need and what should be there? Well, we are seeing what we are seeing today. And I think, by and large, if it takes time, we'll get there.
Now let us go back to service. The NCAA receives more than 50,000 complaints a year about poor service from domestic airlines, and that's from the Nigerian people who are used to turning the other cheek. Why do you think the average worker still has not realized that the customer is king?
Yes, we do recognize. Many times, some of my colleagues and I have been at the GAT, but you have to understand that our guests or the traveling public should understand that we cannot be more efficient than our environment. Just 2 days ago, we had an incident where the truck drivers, I don't know what they say, they finished discharging the thing to the fuel marketers. And there's normally what they call night fueling. You fuel in the night. so that you can do the 7 o'clock flights and all the rest. And it's only one marketer that has fuel. All our marketers, that marketer received the fuel and now wanted to truck it to Ikhide here. For one reason, that they have problem with their truck drivers. And then by the time you get the fuel, you do your flights. There are many airports like Benin, you can't go after 6:30. You know that? Calabar, Ibadan. You see, you are restricted again. Why should Nigeria at this time, at this century, be talking about not being able to land in some airports after 6 p.m.? And somebody say, okay, why don't you schedule? We have a schedule, but you think everything is normal. We have all sorts of problems. And the important thing is that if we have proper lighting at the airport, and you know Lagos here, even Lagos here, when after 6:30 or 7, you have to land at international. You can't land at the local because the runway lights are not, for one reason or another, is closed. There's a lot of challenges, and I think the infrastructure needs to be put in place. And rather than the passengers, fighting, beating up counter staff or pushing and shoveling them, it's not right.
Sometimes it goes beyond delays. Sometimes it's the attitude of the workers. In a situation where a customer has genuine grievances, how can he assert his right?
I must say you are very right. Some of our workers, we've done a lot of training. I personally have gone to training school to speak with them, to say, look, you need to have, once you are serving the public, you need to be calm. You need to understand that the customer is king. You've got to address them properly. Yes, I know some of our passengers too have not been good. They've been very harsh on them, used foul language on them. Some even spat on workers' faces. I'll tell you one, there's even an incident where on the counter, one of the TRO, travel officers, was attending to a passenger in the queue, and a lady jumped the queue and came and said that, I need to, I was asking her a question, she said, Madam, let me finish with the lady I was attending to. And next thing, it was all slap. Beating the lady up, no matter how frustrated he is, doesn't mean that one should be violent and take laws into his or hands. It's not right. Yes, some of our staff, we keep on correcting them. And I must say that some senior citizens of this country have helped to correct our staff on the spot. Just recently, I've been flying the aircraft myself. I fly as a passenger just to watch what they are doing. I sit at the back, sit anywhere, just to watch the general thing. So MD was at I think JT the other day. So now one of our directors went to Abuja. We are going around trying to see that, but so I do apologize to those for such behavior. They are unacceptable. Some of the behaviors of our staff is unacceptable. And I want to take this opportunity to tell the traveling public that we are taking steps to address them.
Government is talking about the relaunch of a national carrier. Maybe you're the wrong person to ask because they will then be your competitor. But I will ask anyway. What model would you recommend should be adopted to ensure success this time around?
No. I don't look at a national carrier as a competitor to Arik. I think it's going to be an advantage to Arik. That's my view. I would like the national carrier to come so we can compare the activities of both. Because if we have a national carrier now, I'm sure CBN will be forced to say, okay, they're going to give allocate foreign exchange to airlines because the government, they have government ears, and government cannot say we treat this one, we don't treat that one. So to me, I see the advantage of having a national carrier. It is very, very, very necessary because the government will know the operating costs. They will have a feel for the for aviation more of the carriers. I still strongly believe in it. Yeah, we compete. It's going to be a healthy competition, and of course, it will help us fight the foreign airlines too because they too have to survive. But I don't see anything wrong if the government of Nigeria starts a national airline which is owned by the government and the public of Nigeria. I don't see anything wrong. I support it and we welcome it very strongly.